that's a nice one. And now I'm just waiting for a time frame and price on new armoured glass. Has a 5-year life apparently. And ooh, there's another nice one. That looks like an ambulance. That's got all its glass in, so we're ready to go on that one. But many of these snatch ones I've been buying back off old customers, and they've stripped the internal layer of perspex out, or I have, before I sold it, and that's all got to be replaced. Because without that, it ain't a lot of good, is it really? And the other thing they're not thinking about, which is a bit short-sighted, is it's all right buying an armoured vehicle, but if you do take 5 or 6 shots in the front of the windscreen, if you haven't got spare windscreens with you, I'm afraid it's a bit useless, isn't it, if you can't see out the front. So another reason to go for ferrets. I think ferrets are better because that little vision block, you can whip that out and put another one in no time at all. And I have got dozens of them, dozens and dozens, a whole stillage. There they are, look. Real easy. Yeah, they did the British Army good for years and years and years, and they're even out in the Gulf. That one there, the glass is good in it, but it's a bit cloudy on the left-hand side, and that means that's delaminated. And maybe if a big bullet hit that, it wouldn't just make the inside bulge, it would blow the whole panel out. So I'm really wary about stuff like that, and they've got to be too. But there you go. So very exciting today, because the Sabre that we've been working on for quite a while, trying to get an engine going for it and cobbling bits together, which should have worked. In the end, being through frustration, we went and bought the Flash one yesterday, and that's been on a test bed and screaming away, so we know she's brilliant. And it's already up here, and I expect they're putting the carburetor back on, because the carburetor made it too high to go in the back of my motor. And I'd like to think that'll be in by the end of the day and running, and I will be driving it. Very excited, lads. Robert's excited, I can tell. Dylan's even more excited. Look at him rubbing his hands. Ashley's more excited than an excited dog. I see that the carburetor's back on. No, this is the right. That's the one we're putting on. Okay. No. It's already down there. Okay, so you're whipping bits off, are you?
No, we're just checking the engine mounts.
Okay, engine mounts, yeah, that's important, otherwise you get a nasty vibration. That's these things here. And if the rubbers go, then it could be a bit, which nobody wants to hear when you're driving your pride and joy. I've got a bloke picking up cars today, so if we can leave the forks on the JCB, we can start passing a few over. I don't know how many trips he's going to do, but it could be quite a few. That's a nice set of spanners you got there. They're Roberts. Okay, I must cut 4 marks on all those individual pieces so they become mine. How many marks are you? Oh, even better. I'm worried he's going to go 5 marks instead of 4 marks. Then Dylan's going to get a set, and he's going to start grinding 6 marks on all his bits, so he could just add 1 or 2. Nice to see Robert's sex machine back. It failed its MOT dramatically, but now it's back. I notice he's put fancy headlights in. How fancy are those? I think they're called Angel Eye. Yes, he's put a lot of work into this over the years. Things keep appearing. In fact, I haven't seen this cover before. I reckon he's bought this on eBay, this fancy cover. And there's a bit of this stuff on the back. I think this is that stuff called Raptor. Oh, and yeah, I think that rear bumper's different. But he's still left this dent. That dent makes it look cool. You've got to have a dent somewhere, haven't you? Yes. Zombie apocalypse vehicle. Right, well I think they're putting these other 2 engines back in the shed, because although they're not up to the standard we want, they've still got a coil, they've still got a heat exchanger, they've still got a carburetor, manifolds, all those useful bits. Very useful bits. Lots of phone calls this morning from Ukraine again. It's all kicking off. They want the stuff, but we can't seem to ship it. The export licenses are taking too long, which is a real problem. And the other exciting thing is I've been offered a clutch of vehicles. Rather a nice clutch of vehicles. And I do love buying vehicles. Some very unusual ones. I should get the pictures today. Now, this is our posh new engine. And And I reckon that'll be in before the end of the day, and I'll be driving this around the yard, and that'll be cool. It has seriously pissed us off, this vehicle. It should have just worked, but no, it hadn't been run for a long while, and who knows what you're buying when you buy a dead vehicle. It's called risk. The man comes to collect our cars. We've got a few of them going today just to make a bit of room. This is going to be a bit of a test for Robert. He is without doubt the best telehandler in the whole of Eastern Helmden, and he may put it in crab mode or slew mode or just goodness know what mode. But the trick is to pick these up carefully. We're saving that, believe it or not. Pick these up carefully and then we'll pop them on the back of these little trucks. You've got to think about the weight being slightly forward because of the engine. We're doing our deal where 3 squash cars for 2 good ones, and it should stand us in good stead for many more car crashes to come. Yeah, big business old cars at the moment. Amazing, isn't it? What a pile of crap. I can't believe that no one wanted any parts off this Freelander. You'd think a Freelander would be quite a popular motor, but alas not. Okay, Robert's psyching himself up now. Yes, a lot easier than winching them on. Here we go. With the bucket we've got when we're doing the planers, you can't see the edge of the bucket, but at least with this you can. The hard part is the front of the forks is quite kind of deep, if you know what I mean. He's only supposed to be taking one at a time. That's it, ram it in, ram it in. Ram it home, Robert, ram it home. Look at our new fork extensions, aren't they wonderful? He may have gone in a bit far there. Who knows? Now we'll reverse it, perhaps. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, nearly. That's because the front wheel's touching. It's got to go a bit higher, I think. Yes, it's like a great big game of tiddlywinks. I'm going to count Robert down. It'll make him feel more, how can I say, 89 instead of 90. I can see us doing this for a few days. Yeah. Without the wheels on, it might not be that easy to get the forks out. We may have to strap it to the actual wagon and then pull the forks out. Here, Robert, I put a car through someone's transit back window once with the 360, swung it through the back of his vehicle. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Well, at least you better get your forks out. That's just catching on the boot lid, isn't it? Yeah, you may have to just edge it 2 inches that way. Yeah, 2 strong bits. I don't think it would have bent. Hang on, I'll pull it. Try that. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Quite a heavy car, that one. That would go over the ton, so he's having good money out of that one. It could go on further this way, really. Maybe a little bit more that way. About 8 inches. Right, well, it's getting boring now. Good to me. Well done, Robert, an excellent job. Right, let's do this one now. Oh look, there's my frying pan in there. I must get that back before it goes. Kate doesn't clean them anymore. She just uses them once and then throws them away. Recyclable world, isn't it? Your idea, Robert, is to lift them through the windows, and then that way it won't drag it on the low loader. Yeah, I think so. I like the idea of that. That's a good idea. Luckily, I have this water pump there, and everyone said this water pump was useless. But it's not useless. It's still got a use. Yes, with age comes experience, and Robert had this great idea of lifting the cars this end through the windows, so they go straight on, and we can pull them out, pull the tines out easy, and then I lift them out the field on the other tines underneath. And that could work very well. And I'd like to thank Malek and all the Saudi people for putting this in a position where we can have the total extravagance of having 2 load-alls, one for on-road and one for off. Oh, look at that, isn't that wonderful? Yeah. Welcome to Saudi Arabia. That's what they all said to me, and they made us very welcome. You're right, Ashley. Yes, makes him a little bit engine heavy. That won't matter though, will it? Bending the tines. I think it'll take it.
Your extensions are bent.
Is it quite bendy then?
Yeah.
Oh, if he breaks, I'll send him back.
I'll lower it down and try and go a little further.
No, I wouldn't. If you go right the way through, it could get right tricky. And that is the only problem. They're going to be very front heavy. But it doesn't matter because you can put the front down, and when the front is settled on the back of the deck, you can then, as you back out or back forward with the back up of the car in the air, you can actually position it exactly where you want it. So that's to our advantage, the fact that it goes front heavy. Well done. My job will be to lift them over this side of the bank and pop them on with the Manitou, but that tank's in the way really, isn't it? So I'm going to move that Mondeo, and then we're going to whip these 2 cars here, well, one of them out the way, then we can start lifting them over the bank. The scrapman will be gone at least an hour anyway. Well, it's all going remarkably to plan. We haven't dropped anything, nothing's got stuck, and yeah, I'd say it's very successful. Only problem is Robert's idea of putting the forks through the actual windows. Well, we haven't got any windows on that one, they were just torn clean off, so that might not work, but I think there's a very good chance of having a jolly good tidy up today and getting some more cars for running over. You can't ask for more than that, can you? Bloody hell, is he still here? Yeah, he's still here. They're thorough. This is especially for Bob. He's very interested in this Ferret. Now, I haven't got today's paper, but I have got the 10th of April Sunday Times. So this is just so as you know. And I open this Sunday Times and I go scrolling through it. And I mean, who reads the Sunday Times? Not many, but then all of a sudden I get to this bit which is almost interesting because it's got me in it. Hang on, let's have a little look. Someone bought it in, and it's all about a company called Brewdog, and he started making beer in his garage, and now he's turning over 7 million a year, and that is me. And that behind him is Tank-alot Dave, and we used to do their promotion. But that is the 10th of April 2022. And this is the Ferret. Now I'll climb up on it. I fitted a motor on the minigun, so this spins. Right. If you pass the camera, well, I'll tell you what, I'll climb inside. And if you can film me, it's remarkable inside. It's got everything and even more than everything. Look at that, look. It's got the water bottle belt. Now, I had a kid's party and the kid came along in a full British Army uniform, Second World War, and he needed that. Anyway, it's got the intercom, it's got the brass fire extinguisher, it's got the flask that you put your soup and your dinner in. It's got the flask you put your thing in, it's got magazines with machine gun rounds in it, it's got all the periscopes in it, it's got some kind of radio stuff in. I'm not into the radio. I don't know if that's Larkspur or what. It's got a Sterling submachine gun that he made himself from scratch. Clever man, there it is. And then you come around here and it's got the machine gun mount down there for the Bren gun. Then you look down here and it's got a Bren gun, and he made that himself from scratch. The wood's walnut. And it's all got sorts of radio stuff, and it's got the fragmentation blocks, and it's got everything really. In fact, it's a bit of a Christmas tree. It's got just too much. And then the bin boxes are all full of stuff as well. But yeah, it's a very, very complete Ferret. And this turret, yeah, it's not original, but what's very nice about it is now there should be a plate in it. Oh, there we go, he's polished it. That is the plate. If that means anything to you, then good luck. It is reputed to be the first Ferret off the production line. Let's have a little continuity number. Who are we after that? Oh, I don't know, base overhaul, rebuild. 32 BA 75. It's road registered in this country. So there you go. That is the bronze plate, highly polished, as I would have expected from this man. All the brass has been polished. Look at that. It's all brass, all polished. And I'll open that, and it's no. Surprisingly, it's not full of hand grenades, but that wouldn't have surprised me. God, it's a bit stiff here. Now this periscope here, is bulged with frost, but luckily I'm a man who has hundreds and hundreds of these. I bought a whole pallet of them, so that is a very easy replacement, and I guess I could throw a handful of them in for free. So there you go. That's what happens when the damp gets in them. So there you go. It's all very nice. What's the word on the street?
Getting close, getting close.
Getting close, getting close.
She's all bolted down.
Oh, it's all bolted down.
Everything's been reconnected.
Oh. Yeah, we should be able to neutral turn it out of here, shouldn't we? With ease. Jolly D. Well, what I'll do is I'll go and load some more cars. We'll do something clever, and you give me a shout when it's ready to be running. Then we'll do a little movie of it running. Yes. And all this stuff is spare. You don't need it.
Yes, vast majority of it. Bar the decks, you know.
But apart from the decks, okay. Well, what you want to do is get Dylan running backwards and forwards, putting all the useful bits in the back of the container. All right?
Yeah.
Because we haven't fed the animals yet, and we don't want to be late. Because my wife's ill, and she needs looking after. Got a bit of lead substitute. That's what I like to see. I always put lead substitute in with your J60 engines. So what's Dylan been doing then, Robert? Is he been useful, or have we got to spank him again? If you've got to put him over your knee, I understand. It's down there. It's all happening. Now, have you used your spirit level to make sure that the gearbox is lined up perfectly level with the fan coming out?
I think we did that before.
Yes, it's all about shimming. Not shimmying, but shimming. There is a difference. Yes, well, it's all looking good, and Dylan's doing something down there. I don't know what Dylan's doing. What are you doing, Dylan? Something exciting.
Jeremy Clarkson, mate.
Yeah, I'm in that mag. You believe it? Beaten by the clock. I fixed the exhaust bit. There's a piece missing, which we're going to have to go and buy, but it was close, wasn't it, Ashley? Very close.
Yeah, I think by an hour into tomorrow morning she'll be...
Yeah, I've heard that before. Was that a duck farting?